Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. New details are emerging in the investigation into the death of the 19-year-old woman in the island of Kefalonia. Police are examining whether drug use may have preceded the incident. 3 men who were with the woman that night have been arrested and charged with exposing her to danger after allegedly leaving her while she was in a semi-conscious state. According to investigators, the group had been staying at a local hotel. One of the suspects told authorities that cocaine was used in a room rented by one of them. Security footage shows individuals entering and leaving the room multiple times. At around 4:30 a.m., the woman is seen being removed from the hotel in a fainted condition. About 45 minutes later, another individual left the premises. The woman had gone out earlier in the evening and was later found in critical condition in the central square. Emergency services transported her to hospital, where she later died despite medical efforts. The exact cause of death will be determined through a forensic examination. Authorities are continuing to review video evidence and testimonies as the investigation progresses. A burglary and vandalism incident is under investigation in the southern suburb of Glifada after intruders broke into a school complex and caused extensive damage. The attack targeted the 5th Middle School and 5th High School campus. Authorities say the perpetrators stole around $8,000 in cash and 6 computers. According to reports, the intruders entered administrative offices, broke doors and desks, and ransacked the facilities. They also emptied approximately 25 extinguishers and threw paint and objects across walls and classrooms. The cash was taken from the principal's office. The break-in was discovered on Tuesday afternoon during the Easter holiday period. The incident has prompted reactions from parents and local officials who are calling for stronger security measures, including the possible presence of on-site guards. Local authorities have launched an investigation to identify those responsible. No arrests have been announced. Municipal services have begun work to repair the damage and restore the school's operations. A debate is underway in Greece over the presence of oleander plants on school grounds following new safety guidance from the Ministry of Education. The ministry has instructed school principals to take precautionary measures, including removing or uprooting oleander where necessary. The directive follows recommendations from health authorities, which warn that the plant contains toxic substances in its leaves, flowers, and stems. Officials say the aim is to reduce potential risks, particularly for young children who may come into contact with the plant. In some cases, the guidance has also been interpreted to include playgrounds and other public spaces. However, the move has prompted reactions from environmental experts. They argue that the response may be excessive, noting that oleander is not unique in containing toxic elements. Experts also point to its role in urban greenery, highlighting its resistance to drought and its contribution to green spaces. Some are calling for greater public awareness and education instead of widespread removal, noting that poisoning cases are rare and that the plant is not easily consumed. Livestock farmers have blocked operations at the port of Mytilene, disrupting ferry traffic and leaving hundreds of passengers unable to travel. The protest caused a delay in the departure of the ferry Nissos Samos, which left more than an hour late with around 200 passengers on board, mainly soldiers on leave and people traveling for urgent health reasons. Earlier, groups of farmers occupied the port and blocked the ship's loading ramp, preventing the boarding of passengers, vehicles, and cargo. As a result, hundreds of travelers were left behind, along with all trucks and private vehicles scheduled to depart. The protesters say government restrictions linked to the spread of foot and mouth disease have severely affected their livelihoods. They report being unable to sell milk and meat, with the market effectively frozen and no compensation provided. Farmers warn that many operations are at risk as the situation continues. They have announced plans to return to the port and block incoming traffic, signaling further disruption in the coming days. A new wave of Sahara dust is affecting large parts of Greece, with conditions expected to intensify over the coming days. The National Observatory of Athens says the dust wave began on Tuesday and is expected to persist through Friday. High concentrations of dust are already present, bringing cloudy skies and light mud rain to several regions. According to monitoring data, air quality and visibility have deteriorated, reaching or slightly exceeding legal limits in areas including the Ionian Islands, Western Greece, Central Greece, and Epirus. Today, the dust cloud is expected to move eastward, affecting the Cyclades, the Dodecanese, and much of the Aegean. By Thursday, the phenomenon is forecast to cover most of the country, with the exception of Evros in the north. Authorities warn that air quality will be significantly affected and advise caution, particularly for children and the elderly and people with respiratory conditions. These were the top stories of the day as covered on Mega News. Thank you for watching.